This afternoon, a bombshell legal brief has hit Donald Trump, which puts on display mountains of evidence proving once and for all his direct involvement in the events of January 6th and his intent to subvert Congress and overthrow the Constitution of the United States. We have been waiting months to see this evidence, so be sure to stick around to learn just how bad things are looking for Donald Trump. And as always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to help keep the updates coming your way. Donald Trump has been on trial for months in Washington, D.C., where he is being tried for attempting to stop Congress from certifying the 2020 election. This, of course, occurred with the mob of crazed supporters who attacked Congress that fateful day. Now, sadly, Trump will not be going to trial until after he loses, hopefully, the 2024 election to Kamala Harris. But until then, Jack Smith and Judge Tanya Chutkan are giving us just a sample of some of the evidence that will be brought forth. And until now, no one but the judge and grand jury have been allowed to know what information Jack Smith has gathered, or how he will be shaping this case. Take a look at how this trial will now be presented to the jury.
Breaking news, a bombshell court filing just unsealed in the 2020 election case against former President Donald Trump. In it, special counsel Jack Smith argues that Trump resorted to crimes after losing the election to Joe Biden. The case had been thrown into doubt when the Supreme Court ruled that a president can't be prosecuted for official acts. Smith is claiming Trump's actions were taken in a private capacity as a candidate. The filing, which runs 165 pages and has a lot of names redacted, also details Trump's actions on January 6th when thousands of his supporters stormed the Capitol as Congress was certifying the election. And it claims Trump tried to advance his own self-interest and perpetuate himself in power, contrary to the will of the people. CBS's Scott MacFarlane has the new details.
The special counsel alleges former President Donald Trump resorted to crimes, focusing in particular on Trump's alleged interactions with then Vice President Mike Pence, who had refused Trump's insistence he stop the electoral certification on January 6th. Throughout the 165-page filing, Smith makes the case Trump was acting as a candidate or private citizen, not as president, when he was claiming the election was stolen.
The special prosecutor is trying to establish that his evidence shows that this was all private conduct that is charged here, and therefore immunity, sweeping immunity provided by the Supreme Court in its decision this summer does not apply.
When told Pence's life was in danger, according to the filing, Trump responded by saying, "So what?" The new filing also alleges Trump allies sought to create chaos, including one unnamed Trump supporter shortly after the election, encouraging protests, even to make them riot. The filing says at least 9 times in the days after the election, Pence tried to convince Trump to give up his fight to prevent the certification, saying he could run again next cycle. Trump allegedly replied, "2024 is so far off." Smith tries to make the case Trump was acting as a candidate, not as president, when he claimed the election was stolen.
That's right. Jack Smith is certain that Trump was working with his campaign and non-governmental staffers to encourage a violent riot. He even has testimony from Mike Pence himself confirming it. The briefing released on this trial is 165 pages long and goes into much more detail. For example, it cites Trump campaign workers trying to incite, quote, chaos at the ballot processing centers in Detroit, Michigan. It also claims that on November 13th, 2020, Rudy Giuliani was put in charge of Trump's private legal team to fabricate a legal challenge to the election. And apparently, Rudy Giuliani was chosen specifically because he was in support of lying about the election results. This new release also documents conversations between Trump, Mike Pence, and dozens of staffers, all telling the former president that his election claims were false and that he was fabricating evidence. Trump knew for certain that he and his legal team's claims about 2020 were false and knowingly lied to the public. As this trial goes on, we will hopefully get even more releases from the prosecution because the public deserves to know how a former United States president tried to lie about, defraud, and subvert the will of the people. This explosive legal briefing is certain to shake the Trump campaign to its core and hopefully wake up some undecided voters to the fraudster he really is.